On this edition of inCycle, a race with a difference. We look at the fast-paced Red Hook Crit in London.
And even for me, 3 years ago, I was like, it's a bunch of hipsters or, random guys riding bikes. And didn't really consider them athletes.
We'll find out what the professionals do once the Tour de France is over.
In the beginning, I was saying yes, 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 yes. And now I'm saying, okay, you asking that price? No, I want to give you that price. And if you win more stages, I give you this price now.
But first, it's all about tactics with Team Sunweb on the Women's World Tour. Winning on the Women's World Tour takes a delicate balance of knowing your team's strengths and knowing when to use them. With victories this season in stage races and one-day classics, from bunch sprints and solo breaks, Team Sunweb seem to have mastered it.
We make our lineups in the winter already, so we make a year plan, and so all our riders are working really with an internal trainer. Teun van Erp, our data analyst, is making a pacing plan for every rider.
I think there's a lot more depth now in women's cycling, and we're seeing more riders develop into specialists, and also seeing that team tactics are becoming more and more important if a team wants to have success in a race. It's not just the strongest riders that win every weekend.
As a leader, you have to make sure that everyone's on the same page and that everybody knows the goals and their roles. And so if that's very clear and what their jobs have to be, and usually those jobs cater to their strengths, then we get a really good collection and we can really get the job done.
At Team Sunweb, finding the right mix of riders comes as a result of year-round analysis, focusing on efforts against the clock.
We of course analyze that as also where they win time, when they lose time, when they went too fast. If you bring it back to a lead out, also there you can see really where the strength of a rider is. If it's really a long TT, then we have with Ellen van Dijk a rider that is really strong for really long pulls on super high power. If you look to Leah Kirchmann, who won the prologue of the Giro last year, that's of course a rider that likes the explosive shorter pulls with really high speed. So of course we look also to the power values in TTs to bring it back to the races.
And that was put to the test at the Prudential Ride London Classic.
The keys for Ride London, I think, are riding technically really well, since there's a lot of U-turns and tight corners. You need to be good with your positioning, because you save a lot more energy if you're closer to the front than if you're having to jump at the back out of every corner.
I wouldn't exactly compare it to American Crit, but it's the same circuit that we do multiple times. But as a sprinter, the way I think of sprints and leadouts, I approach it the same way as if it were a crit or any other road race or stage race or whatever. For me, I kind of work backwards from the finish line on how I would like to get to the line first.
The things your teammates can do are help you with positioning, so keeping you out of the wind when you're moving up, because that costs a lot of energy if you're just doing it yourself. Your teammates can respond to attacks at the front. If you're the sprinter, you want to avoid having too many power spikes.
I think the last kilometer is technical, so especially when there's going to be rain, then there are going to be little gaps. So we need to be in front of for sure, because otherwise we need to chase, and that's wasted energy in the end. And then we can also put pressure on the other riders and the other teams to chase us back instead of the other way around.
So definitely within the last kilometer of a race, the wattage is really, really high. But in my head, it feels pretty calm, but I'm just trying to stay calm and ready to unleash. But then it's really at the end where I really hit my peak wattage.
A win for Rivera, the sprint classification for Kirkman, and best team honours for Sunweb.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, and it came down to timing, and it's pretty deceptive because you see the finish line for a long time, and you just really have to be patient and wait to hit the gas at the right moment.
It was our plan coming into the race that we wanted to go for the sprint competition just to feel out the sprint and practice our lead out a little bit. Our lead out didn't quite come together perfectly at the end, but we were there for as long as possible for Corinne.
Yeah, I think this team is really special because we take that seriously and we have a really good plan and we do our best to execute. And of course there's some adversities and things that we have to overcome, and everyone does their best because they're doing what they're good at, and then we're all going for the same goal.
My name's Alec Briggs. I am from Forest Hill, which is about 10 minutes from here, the borough of Lewisham, which is next to Greenwich. Been riding bikes too long. You ever seen Speedway, which is like dirt ovals, motorbikes riding around? I used to watch that a lot with my dad and pretend to be one and play with little figurines and in the garden like dress up and like my dad like making these breastplates out of like tarpaulin and stuff. Quickly realised it wasn't good enough to ride a motorbike. Also having like a bit of a tough time at school when I was younger. And my parents said, no, let's take him down to Herne Hill, which is 10 minutes from my house, Herne Hill Stadium. And ended up just kept going back and going back and going back. David Trimble started this Red Hook crit in Red Hook 10 years ago for a birthday party. I think just like maybe like 15 people or something. And he just wanted to race a Criterium on track bikes, you know. I think he had a good idea about it. He's come from like a motorsport racing background where things like racing lines and apexes and racecraft matter a lot more, you know. And I think he saw a real niche in that and has transferred that over to the bike. And for me, that's why I like it. So I'm racing here with people that have ridden, you know, Grand Tours and been professional cyclists and still are. Come on, Martino! Come on, Stefan! That's my teammate Stefan in the red. He's the current series leader, and it looks like it's a really hard heat, this one. A lot harder than mine, which I'm quite thankful for. Now, only, I think, 18 qualify through to the final directly. I think 10 after that, between 19th and maybe 25th, maybe a few more, go through to the last chance race. You really don't want to be in that race. So if you have to go to the last chance, it means you have to race another race, tire your legs out, tire your lungs out, and the top 5 from each heat go through to something called Super Pole. Now, Super Pole is, come on, Rob, man, keep digging. With Super Pole, you have 1 lap on your own, and you try and set the fastest lap you can. Now, if you finish first, you finish on the front of the grid, and not only do you start on the front, you end up with 3 championship points to the series. So for some riders, that's really valuable. Different tracks play to different riders, and it's a combination of a balanced combination, like any other discipline, of skill, speed, pedaling technique, racecraft in the head, power and strength, you know, and you need a bit of everything, and that's what I really like about it. You know, I think, in all honesty, cycling as a whole, especially road and like the bigger stuff, may have shunned the fixed gear stuff, because essentially, and even for me 3 years ago, I was like, it's a bunch of hipsters or, you know, random guys riding bikes, and didn't really consider them athletes. But then in the last 3 years or 2 years, everyone's just gone, this is a big thing. There's a niche here. It's its own discipline. It's really important to get a good start. And what you need to do is try and get your feet clipped into your pedals as quick as you can. And because you're on a fixed gear, it's a lot harder to do that, because you can't freewheel and look where your pedal is. You have to try and get your foot in as the pedals come around. So because the course is so wet today, it's just stringing out. Normally on a really fast dry course, all the riders will stick together. But because it's so technical and hard and actually really slow, the course is running really slow, the peloton's just fragmenting everywhere.
And we did a bike exchange here in turn number 1. Stefan Schaefer being the ultimate teammate here. He had his bike ready. Alec Briggs definitely has the fitness. He certainly has the skill set to make his way back into the field. Iman Lucas needs to slow the field down for his teammate Alec Briggs, who is now chasing with a flat.
It's going to be dangerous, man. Like, the course and the corners are really slippy, and people take risks, and it can, if you get it wrong very easily in this.
Red flag on the course, that means we're going to neutralize the race. We have too many riders down. Alec Briggs is now running down the track. Oh my goodness, Team Specialized is doing a whole lot right now.
We're going to start the lead group and then 15 seconds later start the second group.
Alec Briggs with that red ginger beard, he is making himself known at the front. He is now first wheel, Alec Briggs!
A lot of time you go there, do your job, get out. But here, everyone's aware and enjoys all the other stuff that comes with it, which is quite unlike anything else I've experienced.
Alec Briggs in third overall.
It was bloody hard. Jumped on Schaefer's bike, but his saddle was really low and he had a tiny gear on. So it was like spinning my nuts off. And then that's really sad to see guys crashing, but unfortunately, it favoured me. So because it's like motor racing, you see a yellow flag or a red flag, it's neutralised. I had to start 15 seconds down on the front group, and I had to basically just smash it on that last lap just to get there, because that was the hard bit. Once you're there, you can recover and move up. But then when I got there, I thought, there's no way I'm going to get through, because riders are still coming past me. And then I managed to get through, I don't know.
Last night we had a bit of a sponsor dinner and everything, a couple of drinks, so it was pretty late by the time I got to bed and drove straight from Paris to here, so it's long days, but you could really quickly forget that sort of stuff when you see these amounts of people here. Obviously with the Giro winner and two different stage winners of the Tour de France here, it's pretty obvious that we have a good field. So it was to be expected that there were going to be some people. The people want to see us race and watch us race and watch the big guys race, and I think that's important for us as well, just to show ourselves. And in the end, it's racing, and I think a good rider always wins.
So basically, the first time I came here was in 2012, I think, when I was still with my Chevy van, my beaten up Chevy van, and without kids. And we decided to do the crits, to go from crit to crit instead of going home every night. So that saved me like a lot of kilometers traveling and a lot of more hours at ease, So yesterday night, for example, the race finished like 10:30. And then 15 minutes later, I was here on my bike, so I did a little bit of a cool down. While normally you just go straight after the crit to changing room, and then you have still half an hour of autographs or stuff like that. So basically, it started as a way to have more rest and to prepare better for the second half of the season. But also, I noticed this is a place where I get really chilled. You know, like in the morning. Easy, you know, the whole Tour de France bus is a lot away. Actually, I don't have cell phone reception, anything. So during the day, I'm totally at ease, and then in the nights I go to the crits to race the crits, but preferably close. So normally when I should do car on Wednesday, I know a campsite there within 2 kilometers. I go there, and then that's how we traveled, like from crit to crit, instead of going home every night. The holidays are always spent camping, you know, preferably with a mobile home or with a small van like this. And so here I just bought this this Volkswagen, but in the US we always rent a mobile home or something like that, and then we travel California with that. So next trip is scheduled end of August. We go to Italy, and I go to see all the stuff. I want to show them all the stuff the Giro brought me. So we're going to some lakes and the Dolomites and stuff like that. You want to see the camera, eh? Good job. High five. Zo, nou mag je daar weer.
Ademschop naar een hele glaasje opstaan hier ook door het vetchauffeur, want die wordt...
My name is Marco Vijverberg. I'm the president of this of the Proveronde Westland. It's a criterium after the Tour de France. Always on the Thursday. It's 44 years old. My father has started it in 1971, the year that I was born. They started the Wateringse Wielerdag, but they did 1 year without professionals. But that was too boring. So after that, the year after, they started with professionals also. And the buying and negotiating with the riders. I do it now for 18 years. But I am also, in the beginning I was saying yes, 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 yes. And now I'm saying, okay, you asking that price? No, I want to give you that price. And if you win more stages, I give you this price now, but you cannot, don't go higher or something. It's not only that the drivers ask me, no, I also do a proposition for them. And they have to choose, right? Yeah, that's the nice thing. Yeah, yeah. We approach them via Martin van Steen and John van der Akker, and then we will see who is available. Last year we had the Olympic Games. Nobody was available at the Thursday because everybody has to go to Rio. Then we have a big problem. So then you have a smaller field. But this year we have 12 Tour de France drivers, and Tom Dumoulin from the Giro. So I can only give out one time the money. So before the Tour de France this year, we had the pink sweater from the Giro, so Dumoulin, but that's a very expensive guy. I don't talk about prices, but you can buy a good car for it, middle car for it. Yeah, yeah. Criterium it's a day off for the whole family. You have the kermis for the children. You can eat and drink everywhere. There are some clinics to do, and a lot of people coming here to. It's a 1 year reunion, so people coming here from far away to meet people and talk with each other and drink and everything, to have a nice time. So it's for everybody that you have to do. It's not only cycling, but you have to do it for everybody. But I think around 30 to 40,000 people. It's incredible. I let it free. Of course, they are a little bit talking each other, but if you have Nicky Terpstra, one of the best riders of Holland, nobody is contracting Nicky Terpstra by us. He's for the last 6 years. I've been with Dumoulin and with Mollema. Is Nicky Terpstra the best driver of Holland? And he makes a show with it. He drives, and everybody have to follow him. And it's a good Criterium driver, and that I like. They make a show of it. Make a good race. That is for me more important. And if then Mollema or they know what to do, but I don't say to them 1, 2, and 3. No, I don't like it. It's a hobby. It's a lot of time, but it's very satisfying when it's tonight, when it's finished, and everybody's coming to you from wow, what a fantastic day and everything, and then we are satisfied.
That's all for this week. Join us next time on inCycle, but until then, keep up to date with us across social media.